My name is Andy Junkin, and I always thought that any fool can teach a son or daughter how to drive a tractor up and down the corn row. Any fool can leave his son and daughter that tractor in the wheel. But very few men and women are very successful in transferring the management wisdom necessary for their sons and daughters to be able to make that tractor pay. And to me, that just seems absolutely crazy. You know, in farm succession, everyone's always looking at the transfer of assets, how to avoid paying taxes, how to split the equity amongst the siblings. But nobody's ever looked at the transfer of management wisdom. And to me, that should be 90% of the effort. And really, we're putting the cart before the horse. My own grandfather, he was a very successful farmer, and he was known as one of the best in the county, a very shrewd businessman. That's what everybody said. He was shrewd. Yet, he set up my father with a very nice operation for his time. He set up all of his boys with very nice operations for their time. Yet on his deathbed, my grandfather apologized to my mother. He says, "Lord knows I taught that boy how to work, but I didn't teach him how to make decisions." And my father thought he was ready to take over that farm because he was doing the chores for a long time on that operation. But it was my grandfather that made the decision as to whether to buy a tractor or not. It was my grandfather that went and negotiated deals for fertilizer and seed, crop inputs. It was my grandfather that went to the bank and negotiated deals at the bank. There was a whole level of management wisdom that my grandfather just went and did because it was easy for him to do. And he didn't think it was necessary to teach my father. But it's these factors that causes a farm to succeed or fail. You know, and it wasn't my dad's fault, or basically I seen the years after my grandfather's funeral, I seen the farm fall apart, and then I seen my dad fall apart, and then eventually I seen our whole family fall apart because of it. You know, and it was my dad's fault. I mean, he was very clean living, very hardworking guy. It wasn't my grandfather's fault. He meant well. It's just that the more successful you are as a farmer, the tougher it is for you to let go of control and to teach management wisdom to the next generation. That's because everybody has their strengths and weaknesses. And unfortunately, what made you successful as a farmer by personality type is the personality factors that actually causes you to fail when it comes to succession. You know, words like patience, words like communication, words like ability to teach. And those are not words that you would be described to describe you, but those are what's necessary for you to be able to transfer that wisdom to the next generation. You probably have more in common with a schoolyard bully than you do with a schoolyard teacher. And that's what's made you successful as a farmer. That go kind of drive has caused you to be able to create an empire. But, you know, unless you transfer that what's in the back of your head to your son and daughter, you know, your empire is going to fall apart. And what's the sense in a person spending their lifetime building up an empire if it's gone in 20 years' time? Yet it happens so many times. How many times have you seen one generation start up a farm, 2 generations grow it into an empire, and the 3rd generation to piss it away? And we've never studied why. And I think this is a big key factor, our inability to transfer management wisdom. And, you know, I thought growing up, wouldn't it be great if somebody had been able to sit my dad and my grandpa down for half an hour every week, and that was a time and place they made business decisions together instead of my grandpa just making decisions in the back of his head and my dad never learning that wisdom. And that's what I do today. I sit down with your family. When we sit down, we have a family business meeting for half an hour every week. And a big part of this process we never even address. It's the subtle thing is we're transferring management wisdom. When your son or daughter comes to the table with a new idea, it might be an idea that improves farm profitability, that puts your farm ahead. And you're teaching your kid how to critically think by allowing him to come up with new ideas, as well as you're coming to the table with new ideas as well. But 2, if the son and daughter comes to the table with a dumb idea, this is the time and place for you to explain why. And you just don't use one-word sentences like no or because, and we're not going to do that. as a chairman of that family business meeting, I help you communicate why it is you think that's not a good idea, so that your son and daughter understand why it is that you do things the way you do. So that whenever you do transfer the assets, 15 years down the road, your kids are not just doing exact opposite what you always did because they didn't grasp management wisdom. Transferring cultural values and management wisdom is absolutely critical to do before we even start talking about transfer of assets. And if you are successful in doing that, when it comes to transferring assets, you'll have no hesitations. You'll have absolute trust and faith that the next generation will succeed. I would love to be able to help you with obviously my family farm fell apart because of this, but I would like to be able to help you make sure that yours does not. And I offer the first 3 hours of my time for free, because it's a weird concept, working with a guy over Skype from a different country. So I offer the first 3 hours of my time for free so you can get to know me and I can get to know you. And there's no strings attached, there's no obligations. Let's just get to know each other. Let's try me out. And if you like it, we'll make it a success for both of us. And anyways, my name is Andy Junkin. You can contact me anytime at 800-474-2057. Or just click on the green button that says do it, and let's just do it. Let's improve how your family makes decisions together, and let's improve the odds of your family's name still being on your farm's mailbox in 30 years' time. You take care and God bless.